Welcome to this Instagram Live. It's a beautiful beginning, a beautiful beginning of a conversation that I wanted to share for a while. Welcome. And if you're gonna watch this as a replay, when I post the video on my other channels, it's all in one divine moment of now, eternal moment of now. And I'd like to first introduce myself, and I want to make sure the sound is working great. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me well. Okay. Happy holidays. Give me a wave if the sound is going well. I'll wait for a few more seconds. I've been recently enjoying all kind of tea. Has been a tea practice for me. Oh, it says we're telling your followers that you've started the live video. Thank you, Instagram. Katie, Sarah, Crystal. So good to see you, ladies first. Katie, thank you for the heart. Would you let me know if my sound is going well? They told me. Yeah, I feel it's going to be a very powerful conversation and inspiring and playful too. I dressed up for you. I was like, let me put some lovely entrepreneurial clothes. Been recently into blouses. My sound is great. Yes. Thank you, Katie. Thank you. All right, my loves, it's Katerina Satori here. And just in a few words to introduce myself, I am a seer. I've had a mystical sight since childhood. I could see people's souls, could see their gifts, could see their wounds. And this is one of the core gifts that I bring now to my work as a guide and as a mentor. I am also mystic. At my very core, I walk a mystical shamanic path. My life is devoted to the sacred feminine and divine feminine, divine mother. I'm also known in the world as a creative and business strategist for conscious, spiritual, mystical entrepreneurs and creators. So I fuse mysticism, entrepreneurship, soul journey, and I play in these various realms. And I walk the path of entrepreneurship because this is the path that helped me actualize a lot of my dreams, right? A lot of my dreams. And I believe in entrepreneurship as one of the pathways we can take. Hi, sister. I'm so glad to see all of my ladies, and Quantum Hickster has joined as well, and some gentlemen are here with us. So I'd like to give a voice to this powerful topic called Entrepreneurial Alignment. And if you are an entrepreneur, this will be very relevant to you. And doesn't matter which industry you're in. And then at the end of this conversation, I would love to highlight a very unique opportunity to be a part of my group mentorship experience that I will be leading all year, next year, also known as a visionary mastermind. And I wanted to describe the essence of that experience for those of you who may be searching for that kind of group, for that kind of support, for that kind of nourishment and strategy and guidance and energetics, right? So let's talk about alignment. And at first, I named this live stream Letting Go of $1 Million Dreams and Seeking to Answer the Grail Question. This sounds like a koan, right? It sounds like an exercise for our intellect. Allow me to unfold that. Erica, thank you. She says, you're beautiful on inside and out. Thank you, beloved. You too. Reflection. Yes, I've recently been into skirts and blouses. It's this new expansion of my wardrobe. My hair looks amazing. All of these compliments. I need to come to Instagram Live more often. So, beloveds, let's talk about alignment, because I wanted to share something with you that was a huge breakthrough. So, it's so powerful when we begin to learn more and more how this reality works, right? And in the recent discoveries in the last 80, 60, even 30 years, we have been introduced to all these new understandings of how we can co-create with reality, right? How the empty space that is all around us is not empty. It's alive. It's filled with information, codes, intelligence. It's self-organizing. It's self-guiding. We lovingly call it the quantum field, right? Not only we can interact with the quantum field responds to us, right? But not only responds to just anything we do, it specifically responds to one human quality, our emotions, our emotional state, right? How we feel, the quantum universe mirrors back how we feel. This is so crucial for all of us to never ever forget, especially if we are entrepreneurs, because the moment we enter entrepreneurial arena, and after 2, 3, 4 years being in this journey, right, and being introduced to all kind of strategies and ways of crushing in your business or winning or slaying your goals, right? You moving through the process of asking different kind of questions, because the more you grow in your mastery, the more you realize that the higher you rise on your mastery of your craft, of your gifts, it's all about refinement. It's all about refinement. You know, when I work with strong clients, high-profile clients who don't need any business support from me, they want that inner mastery. It's all about subtle pivots of perceptions with them. It's all about helping them expand how they see the world, how they see themselves, how they see their reality. So this is what I see in entrepreneurial journey. The more we expand our mastery, the more it becomes all about refinement. So a conversation of alignment becomes really important when you are standing on the threshold of a new chapter. You can call it expansion. Maybe you call it an expansion in 2023. And your work is recognized online or in your local community, and your clients or your students are getting good results. And you also know there is a bigger assignment for you, right? You know there is a bigger assignment. There is a bigger service that you can offer to the world. So then the question of alignment becomes really crucial, right? And I've recently, especially this year, I personally was becoming tired of seeing so many posts, all numbers driven, promising you 6-figure success, 7-figure success, 8-figure success. And eventually I saw so much of that, I stopped responding to it, and nothing is wrong with that. You know, this is a very typical marketing approach, right? Very typical marketing approach to influence others with the promise of earning potential. Nothing is wrong with that. But then eventually you will yearn, or let me just speak for myself, eventually I yearn to ask much bigger questions. Especially in the time that we're living right now, it's not about chasing $1,000,000 dreams. It's about answering the Grail question. And the Grail question, it's a myth that comes to us from the King Arthur, right? Steve Hardison. Welcome. Welcome, beautiful hearts. Right? Entrepreneurial Alignment. And if you are just joining, we've been hanging out here for about 5 minutes. So you are at the perfect time, because I just shared with you one of the key insights that at a higher level of, or let's just say at a deeper level of embodying our mastery, we begin to yearn to ask different kind of questions. And the phrase that dropped in last night for me was this: letting go of $1,000,000 dreams and to seek to answer your Grail question. And the Grail question, if you don't know the King Arthur legend, I was just introduced to it probably 5 years ago, but it comes to us from the Mysteries of the Avalon, right? And it's a question where the secret circle of knights, the Templar knights, were seeking this mystical Grail, that when you find that Grail, you can ask for any kind of wish or a dream, anything you desire. The Grail represents anything you deeply desire will come to spontaneous fulfillment. So the Grail of the question of our life is, what is my greatest service to the world? And when I sit with that question, I find a deep, true orientation within me. When I start asking myself, how can I hit this next 7 figures or 8 figures or 9 figures, whatever figures it is a question that can be relevant at one part of the journey, but it can also spin us. It can spin our minds in chasing a particular number versus orienting ourselves to answering the deepest calling of our soul. And if any kind of figure, 7 figures or 8 figures, truly a part of your Dharma, it will be a natural result of you answering the Grail question. What is my greatest contribution to the world right now? What is my greatest service to the world right now? That is such a deeper inner orientation that will never fail you, because entire quantum field will support an intention that is oriented on service to the whole, not only on service of our personal ambition, which is useful at particular level of consciousness, right? And once we stabilize ourselves, learn some crucial skills, overcome survival, begin to thrive, begin to create some certain level of certainty and stability and support for ourselves, the next question is all about, what is my greater impact? What is my greater service? Right? What is my greater contribution? That is the Grail question. And this is my intention, that I seek to attune to on a daily basis. On a daily basis. What is my greatest contribution to the world? In a mystical spiritual tradition, you can find the teaching about the divine will and our personal will, right? That teaching will come up for every genuine seeker of truth. There's going to be a point in our journey where we're going to ask, okay, I've been pursuing my will and it was a part of my journey of self-empowerment. Now I'm standing on the threshold of this profound question: what is the will of the divine for my life? Especially when I am alive in the time of great transformation, great awakening, great uncertainty. And if I'm here to run my spiritual business, right? If I have a service that can truly impact, transform, inspire, uplift many souls all over the world, am I ready to let go of the picture in my own head of what expansion looks like for me next year? Can I let go of chasing these $1 million dreams that maybe not even mine to fulfill? Maybe it's not even part of my dharma. But a part of my dharma is to answer that question. What is my greatest contribution to the world right now? True orientation of the soul. What is my greatest contribution to the whole, right? To the will of all. When you seek, or when we seek to serve life, life rushes to serve us. Life supports life, always and in all ways. The question of alignment becomes incredibly important every time we find ourselves on the threshold, in front of this new chapter that we can feel and can sense, and it's pulling us forward, and this older chapter that has served us well, right? Always bless your past. This is my practice. Always bless your past. It brought you here. But be willing to let go of the past, let go of the past dreams, right? Let go of the past desires, and to ask a new kind of question. And the new kind of question is, how can I be an instrument in the hands of the divine in the time of the most accelerated change and transformation? So, letting go of chasing $1 million dreams to answer the Grail question. What is the will of the divine for my life, for my business, for my leadership, for my community? This is the question that will always be answered by the great intelligence, because you bring such level of sincerity and surrender and softness of the heart, right, beloveds? This is one of the reasons that, what I wanted to tell you is that there was a point where I just released the mind's fantasies or ideas of, the numbers, right? The numbers that your business needs to make. Ultimately, none of us really after 7 figures or 8 figures or 9 figures. There are some people who are really after those numbers, and it's a part of their journey to follow that, right? But eventually, at the peak of any mountain that you climb, you gotta find yourself asking yourself this Grail question, meaning what's next? What's really next? So instead, asking yourself, what is I'm really after? And I would dare to imagine that you're after creating a meaningful chapter in your life, the next chapter that is filled with meaning, full with impact, right? But it's also full with affluence. This is my word for 2023, affluence. And not just the superficial affluence, not the glamour. My definition of affluence, true spirit-centered affluence, is a unique dance of abundance and flow in your life. They dance together. They dance together, nourishing you, supporting you, filling your cup, so you give from the overflow. And in order to unlock your abundance, you choose to master any skill that is required on your path as a spiritual entrepreneur, whether it's the marketing or sales or video presence, but you don't do it with clenched teeth and resistance and annoyance. Like, oh, I gotta master this, right? That energy is gonna kill everything. But you do it with like this dynamic enthusiasm and patience. Oh, Spirit asking me to master this ability to communicate my message with a new kind of energy, new kind of enthusiasm, new kind of joy, maybe new kind of playfulness. And when I master this skill, I amplify my abundance because I feel so abundant in my skill set. And every skill set I can turn into a financial resource. And people look at this and say, whoa, that is pure magic. And you smile and you say, absolutely. Mastery only looks effortless. So then let's talk about the flow. Let's talk about the flow. A definition of flow from my perspective is your ability to be so attuned to the current. You are part of the current, right? And every morning you wake up and the number one job of spiritual entrepreneurs is to become attuned. It's not to grab our phone and become a slave of other people's demands on your time. It's to wake up and you say, I am a wave on the ocean of consciousness. Here I am. It's a new canvas, new day. My number one job is to become attuned. To become that sparkling diamond of the soul that I am. Right? So you do the work of alignment to attune yourself. So you are in the flow with whatever the day will bring. Sometimes the day will be filled with dynamic activities. Sometimes the day will feel still and quiet, like nothing is happening. And you're being invited to practice being a witness and to activate your ability to listen to the hidden wisdom, right? To the hidden current of intelligence. This is my definition of spirit-centered affluence, a beautiful dance of abundance and flow. And when we let go of the mental picture of what abundance is, and when we realize abundance is the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it, brought to us by great star nations, represented by the group of incredible beings who has been supporting us from other dimension, Bashar. Abundance, the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. And there's 5 forms of abundance, at least, that flows to us on a daily basis, but so many times we miss it because we hold on to this mental constrictive picture of how abundance must arrive to our door. So my invitation for all of us to attune to this new kind of way of seeing, noticing every miracle. If you don't have a miracle journal yet, it's a great time to start. Dedicate a journal where you notice daily miracles of your life. And the more you notice your miracles, the more they begin to chase you and to come to you. And that $1 million business or whatever numbers that you are inspired by, it spontaneously begins to unfold in your life. Because you're not focusing on the money itself. Money is a resource. Money is a tool. You are focused on answering the Grail question, the mythical question of your soul. What is my highest contribution? What is my deepest service to the whole right now? It's so good to be with you, beloveds. This is the kind of questions that I like to contemplate to orient myself to what truly matters. It's really easy to lose your center in our online entrepreneurship space. It's really easy to get into the trap of thinking that you need to engineer your offers and present them in a specific way that people buy and people enroll in your programs, right? It can be a distraction and seduction, and you can easily lose your way. I'm speaking to you from experience. What will be so in demand next year is more and more people daring to bring their unique offerings from the depths of their soul. They don't fit any boxes. Originality, true originality, is in high demand, and it's always going to be in high demand. But you know why it's not easy to bring your most original creation into the world? It takes a big creative risk. You can be laughed at. You can be rejected. Nobody could join your offerings. You could make a fool of yourself. You could publicly fail, for God's sakes. This is why it takes so much courage to bring an original creation from the depths of your soul. It's much easier to just do what has been done before. It looks easier, but imitation does not create true beauty. And look, we all imitate in the very beginning, right? We all get inspired by our role models and we want to be like them. It's a normal step in our journey. But then eventually, when our divine creative spirit becomes stronger and stronger and stronger, we will dare to color outside of the lines. One of my favorite quotes by Pablo Picasso, who was one of the greatest artists of all time. I have that quote in my upstairs in my bedroom, where I see it as a reminder. And the quote says, "Learn the rules like a pro, so you can break them like an artist." Learn the rules like a pro, so you can break them like an artist. So next year, starting in January, I am leading and supporting a group mentorship experience that are for people who've been entrepreneurs for a bit. It's not the beginning of their journey. It's not their first rodeo, as I'd like to say. And they have been practicing and implementing and learning all the traditional marketing and strategy and ways of doing business. And they're standing on the threshold when they realize the next level of expansion requires the new kind of being. The next level of expansion requires and calls for a new level of frequency, a new level of alignment to their truth, to their deepest soul offerings. And they're here to elevate the ability to unlock that spirit-centered affluence. It's a code. It's a code within our DNA. The beautiful blend of abundance and flow, flow and abundance, where you can see your business as a dance with creation. It's not a machine, right? Your business has a soul. When you begin to see that everything in this reality has consciousness, including your business. Your business is an extension of your current level of consciousness. And when you expand your consciousness, you expand your business, right? And it's also the group for people who understand and yearn to unlock new levels of spaciousness. Spaciousness is required for innovation. And when we go to a new level of expansion and creativity, we are not able to create in a new way and trying to do 5 people jobs at the same time. There is going to be this non-negotiable decision to learn to let go of everything that is not at your zone of genius. And sometimes it's really hard to see that for yourself because stubbornly, we want to think that we can do it all. It's actually a voice of the self-sabotage. When you hear it, I can do it myself and I can do it all. So when you have somebody you can trust and resonate, like your mentor, who can reflect to you, where is your genius? And where's your excellence? And where's your, don't even touch that area. No, you're going to lose your power there. Just stay in your genius, and learn to outsource the rest. If you have just joined, I really hope you trust me on an invitation to watch the replay, as I have been speaking about letting go of the dreams that are rooted in distraction and rooted on the fantasy of the mind, and orienting yourself to a true question, orienting yourself to a deepest yearning of your soul. And that true orientation will fulfill you, nourish you, protect you, and spontaneously fulfill all of your true desires. Entrepreneurial Alignment is the name of this process, right? It's such a crucial process where you attune and align before you step into a new chapter of expansion. Hi everyone. Brilliant quote. Yes, you're very welcome. The quote that I shared from my favorite artist: learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. I deeply believe it is important for us to learn the fundamental rules of business, to learn how to get our work into the world, to become very proactive in our marketing, in our visibility, in our ability to have sales conversations. Those are fundamentals of business that any spiritual person who wants to monetize their gifts and to expand their service, it's very wise to get those fundamentals. But once you've learned the rules like the pro, it's time to start breaking them. It's time to break out of the boxes of the old marketing, old sales, old influence. It's time to trust your wild creative genius. that will want to paint outside of the box, that will want to, not only want, will hunger to bring something so fresh and so innovative and so enchanting to the world. And this is where, let me address just a few things where we can get stuck in this process. And why the group that I'm opening next year is a type of support that when you get stuck, you have an ongoing support system to get unstuck and move forward. Here's the few ways that people get stuck. People who have plenty of ideas. They often lose interest really fast. They get excited about a vision, right? They get excited, oh, this is what I'm bringing. And then another idea comes their way, right? And then another idea comes their way. And then they really have a difficult time to decide, well, which idea do I commit myself to? Or they're trying to do all of them and get frozen in indecision, right? The second way that people lose their way in this process is avoiding to fully step in the zone of their true genius. There is a core talent in every single one of us that only you and only I can bring that talent into the world. But that talent usually is surrounded by a ring of vulnerability. When you begin to approach the true area of your genius, you'll start hearing these voices. Oh my God, if I bring that into the world, people will think I completely lost it. People think I'm really far out there, right? Nobody will be able to understand this. So I have found in my personal experience and guiding a lot of people through the years, our deepest, truest genius is wrapped up in vulnerability. And it takes a real risk to bring our true genius into the world. If that would be so easy to do, we would just see everybody fully expressed in their genius selves. But we don't see that. We see a lot of people stuck in compromise. We see a lot of people getting by, making tiny leaps forward, right? Our zone of genius not only is surrounded by vulnerability, that every time we express our deepest spark of brilliance, we will feel vulnerable. We will worry if we did it well, right? There is a perfectionism over here. There is inadequacy over here. All of these voices. Our zone of genius is also is something that we cultivate and refine over time. This is where I often bring the conversation of being dedicated to mastery. And in order for us to refine something to mastery, we got to embrace mistakes. We got to embrace failure. We got to embrace all of the moments where it was like, wow, I had this level of expectation from myself and it didn't go so well. Sit with your disappointments, sit with your failure and find courage to try again. Find courage to get up and offer your gift, your service, your event, your whatever that you do in the world again in the new way, again in the new way, more masterful, more playful, more dynamic, more enthusiastic this time. Ability to let go of the past, step fully into the present, ignited by the vision that only you see, that is invisible to others. If this level of visionary conversation ignites your heart And you have taken yourself as far as you could take yourself. You're standing on a good foundation of success, and a lot of people in your life think you have made it. But deep inside your soul, you know you're just beginning. Deep inside your soul, you know you barely scratch the surface of your true genius. And you are tired of having conversations that are only revenue-based in nature. You desire a holistic community where you meet other people who asking themselves, what is my greatest contribution to the world right now? How can I elevate my skills so I become even more sovereign, even more unapologetically expressed authentically as myself? Then you would be invited to consider the group mentorship experience that I am leading next year. And this week is the last week to apply. We are starting our journey. We're starting our journey next month. And my mastermind members are arriving to my home, to the sanctuary of, I call it the house of a temple of wholeness, where we will map out our visions together. I'm gonna take my mastermind members through my signature process where we identify their zone of genius and their comfort zone where they are usually tend to hang out. And one of my core gifts is the gift of being a catalyst for people's acceleration and their momentum. So I bring a lot of fire, creative fire, but I also bring a lot of water, right? So where you are both challenged and nourished, right? You're being liberated from illusions and grounded in objectivity of your soul assignment. If this is something that your soul yearns, and maybe you've been following me here on Facebook, on YouTube, and resonate with my style of my work, and been curious to know how can I work with Katarina, especially on the level of business, leadership, and entrepreneurial alignment. My visionary mastermind is the place to be. And I am holding the spots, 3 more people. And then I'm going to close the first cohort. And if this is for you, you can just go to my link in bio and look at the page. Just read with your heart and apply. And we can have a 30-minute call together just to see if this is a community, this group is for you. And I believe this is it. Keep asking the real question, a deeper question that will orient you to your true path. And, in reality, very few of us are truly after 7-figure business, 8-figure business, 9-figure business. We only think we're after that. What we are truly after is a life filled with peace. Oh, my nose started running. Because peace is a new wealth. That's another code that's been coming through really strongly. Peace is a new wealth. And peace comes when we live in true alignment, when we do the work that is ours to do, with the clients or students that we feel inspired and aligned, right? In an environment that nourishes us, having a beautiful flow and abundance of opportunity, abundance of creativity, abundance of beauty, nature's beauty, abundance of lessons, and a beautiful flow in our life, right? So there is no stagnation, no stuckness, because we're willing to look at the areas where we feel stuck or stagnated with humility and say, I've been stuck here. And my mind tells me I can do it all alone. and I don't need anybody's insight into my life, right? But we know that this is a voice of self-sabotage. And if we truly desire to grow and step into this new chapter of expansion, it's non-negotiable to have a perspective of somebody who can see our life from 180 degrees and say, you know what? Right here, just refine and pivot right over here, and everything changes. At a higher level of mastery and success, it's all about refinement, micro refinements that make all the difference. On this note, my dear ones, I have a podcast to record. Monday is a lot of times Monday is my strategic thinking day, and content creation, inspiring channeling creations. But I wanted to give a voice to my group mentorship experience that starts in January. It's truly a unique space to be nourished, to be called to your next level, to elevate your gifts, your skills, vision of what's possible, and to be in a group where we're not only talking about our numbers, which are important, but we hold the feel of true soul alignment and true connection to your path and true connection to your zone of genius. Water and fire from France. Hello, beloved. I had an inspiration. Lucy Joy, I just had this inspiration I wanted to tell you 2 days ago to come back to Paris. I love Europe. Europe touches my soul like nothing else does. And I'm a big adventurer. I'm a big traveler. Traveling for me is so key. So I choose to elevate my business skills every year so I could travel at the style that I love to travel, right? And then bring my clients and my students with me. But I had a vision of coming back to Paris in the fall and to start hosting these a sort of salons, entrepreneurial salons. And I saw Paris. I was like, oh, I feel Paris is calling me. So yes, Europe is calling me, and I'm quite looking forward. I'm looking forward to bringing these, like the sacred circles of wisdom and inspiration and entrepreneurial mastery, so we can all grow and uplift each other. Come on, she says. All right. Yes, I love it. On this note, my dear ones, thank you for being here with this live stream. If you're gonna watch the replay, so my fur child wants to go outside. You want to go outside? So meet her. Here's this Gracie, my fur baby. She really loves being outside. Okay, you want to go? Here you go. So she goes outside. All right, my dear ones. I hope this message nourished your heart and you felt both the fire and the water. And you can read what the group mentorship is about. We meet twice a month. And every month I bring a business training, very specific business training that is designed to elevate crucial skills, right? Such as the way we create events, the way we package our wisdom and put it into scalable digital assets, the way we make offers on video, right? The way we work with stronger and a higher profile clients, the way we create unforgettable experiences for our clients. I call them immersions or VIP days. So far, I've delivered over 50 immersions in my business. And I love them because they really give me this freedom of creative play, right? And each VIP day or immersion, you can weave like an art form. And when you learn how to position and sell them as a premium offer, you have a good amount of resources, right? That you can invest in creating exquisite experience for your client. So in the mastermind, I'm going to teach you how you can go high-end and how you can go broad, because the people that I attract are very humanitarian and impact in nature, and they desire to serve people at different levels. And I believe that is it's you know, to me it always resonated. I wanted to serve people at different levels. So I set up my business in a way that people can experience my work in so many different ways, right? So I will be teaching that. And the strength of any business, I've always been teaching that. The strength of any business is in its diversity. So every year I aim to diversify even more. And the hidden reason behind that is I get bored really easy by doing one thing. So it's like to have the variety and stimulation that I require. I always play in many different ways. And, you know, it's really, really powerful when you give yourself permission to see variety as a way of strengthening your business. And many, many more beautiful upgrades. So if this is for you, you know the next step. See the link in my bio. You can send me a private message, and I would love to connect with you. This week is the last week to join, and I'm going to take off with the event in my home in California. Many, many big hugs. I'm sure I'm going to see you online before the end of the year. I am inspired and prepared for next year. Inspired and prepared, and excited. I feel it's going to be a very dynamic year with fast moving energy, and a lot to look forward to. Thank you for being here with me, with all my love. Until next time.